You repeatedly mention about Shastras. What is Shastra? Who has written that one? How do we get that?
So, what is Shastram? Who has written it, and how do we get it?
Yes, please.
So, what do you mean by how do you get it? What do you expand that question for me?
How do you get it? Means can by reading or listening, or how do you acquire the knowledge of Shastra?
Yeah, exactly. So, how do you acquire the knowledge of the Shastra? So, Shastram, that word. So, Shashanat Trayate iti Shastram. So, by being in a commanding position, it protects me. Trayate. Trayate means protect, the sense of protection. So, Shasanat. By commanding, saying, hey, you are, do this, don't do that. And because, the human being has free will and choice. And if the choice makes the person complete, and I can do whatever I want, and I can do good for myself and others, or I can create harm for the entire humanity. So therefore, somebody has to be there to. Now it's like a car without brakes, and Swamiji says Ferrari without brakes. Ferrari, sports car. How will it be? Sports car without brakes. That's who I am. That's who this individual is. And so that dharma provides the brakes. And so dharma has to provide the brake. Then that fellow has to be told, hey, there is something called Shastram. And you don't have to go this fast. And you can slow down a little bit. and then there is this the Atma Tattvam that is there. And so like that, the Shastra approaches the individual. So Shastram, who wrote it? So the Mahabharatam, we know who wrote it. And Vyasa wrote the Mahabharata. And but the Vedas, who wrote it, if you say, then we say Veda is Shruti. Shruti has no author. Apaurusheyam. No author. It's amazing. Such a vast text, and we say there is no author. Only in Sanatana Dharma, only in India, only the Vedas, we say there is no author. Apaurusheyam. Very important. It's not some poetic and esoteric thing. Nothing esoteric about it. It means that everything that is there, even the rishis whom we think have authored all these mantras, they themselves say we did not author it. And there is a beautiful reason for that. Our ancestors, when they write a book, they are even shy to say that they wrote it. They are very shy. If you look at some of the older books, they will give credit to so many people, and you are trying to look for who the author is, and you can't find. Many books, you can't find the author's name. Many great books. And this research is going on to figure out who actually has written the book. Because this knowledge belongs to Saraswati, and there is no way human being can say, I authored this. That is the thinking that they used to have. And Saraswati, and you help me understand the subject. I'm blessed. You help me write something, write these verses, and for the benefit of people, I'm blessed. And I worship my gurus, my acharyas, and Narayana and Saraswati and all this. Like that they write. They don't say anything about themselves. Amazing. So therefore, if you are going to look for an author of the Vedas, you are not going to find it. You won't find it. But other books, yeah, authors are there. So we will, for example, we study Shankaracharya has written many texts. and Manisha Panchakam, Dakshinamurti Stotram, etc. We know Adi Shankaracharya wrote it. And they will say also Adi Shankaracharya Kritam Dakshinamurti Stotram, like that they will say. So there also they put it in passive voice. They will say written by Adi Shankaracharya. They will never say Adi Shankaracharya wrote this. The active voice mein nahi hai. This is all just mind-boggling. That whole attitude is different. Who am I to create knowledge? Knowledge already is. At best, I can surrender to Ishvara and ask him, hey, I want to understand something. Help me understand something. That's all I can say. I want to write a book. Help me write a book. That is a great prayer. I have something to share and I want to write. And words are not coming out. Please. So, Tyagaraja, our classical, our Karnataka, Trimurti, one of the Trimurtis, Tyagaraja. His story is so moving. And he is a Rama Bhakta, he's a Bhakta of Sri Rama. And then he just cries and he says, and suddenly one day, these compositions are just coming out of him. Coming out. And so that's the attitude we have towards knowledge in general and definitely towards Shastra. Therefore, there is no authorship for Shastra, for Vedas. For Vedas, Smriti has authorship. So when we say Shruti, Smriti, Purananam, the Shruti has no authorship. But Smriti means that which is a product of a human mind. And therefore, you can attribute authorship to the Smriti. Nothing wrong with it. And then how do we get it? How do we gain the knowledge? I mean, like everything else, how do we gain the knowledge of algebra? And the daughter comes and asks the mother, I want to learn, I want to be a doctor. What do you want to be? I want to be a doctor. Children, nice to have these kinds of discussions with children, and I like doing that, like all parents do. And what do you want to be? No, I want to be a doctor. You want to be a doctor? Why you want to be a doctor? Because, I want to help people. This disease is not good, and I want to take away the disease from people. So like that they say. So how do you want to become a doctor? I want to study. So immediately study comes. Even that child knows they have to study. So one answer to your question is only by studying we can gain the knowledge of the Shastram. And so it's important. That's why they talk about a lifelong study. Study never stops. Study never stops. And that's a good attitude to have. And I want to know. And better not say my studies are over and now I'm working and etc. Therefore, there is no need for me to study. This idea is better to let go. And always be a student. Best to be a student because nobody can complain. Nobody can complain you're studying. That kind of criticism will not be there. As long as I am not shirking away from my duties, parental responsibilities, brotherly, sisterly, children responsibilities, all the responsibilities are there. As long as I'm not shirking my responsibilities, study is a great vocation. And so I don't know if I answered your question or not, Rameshji, but that's what came to my mind.
Thank you. You did answer, and then you did interchangeably use the Vedas and Shastra. Is it a extract of Vedas or summary of Veda? Is also called Shastra?
Yeah. So this
it's a complicated topic, right?
No, I mean, so we know what Shastram is. We are clear about Shastram. And we also use the word Shastram to refer to anything. To refer to anything traditional, anything that is related to the topic of the Vedas. And So the entire religious literature often is also referred to as Shastram. Shastra.
Thank you.
Because we attribute sanctity to those texts, whatever number of texts they may be. Okay. So that's our approach.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
Anything else? Good. So we will pause here, and Haim, if you can stop the recording.
So can you please elaborate on this?
Sorry, is what important?
Why is Sanskrit important?
Oh yeah, in that
Second talk,
Yeah.
which you had yesterday.
Sanskrit is important because anything of significance that we need to know is, when it comes to India, is all written in Sanskrit. Because for a long time, Sanskrit was the language in vogue in India. And they say the official language of India was Sanskrit till the middle of 1800 or something, until the British dismantled it. I mean, official language means what? That means everybody, or at least the majority, used to speak in Sanskrit. That is the meaning. And it's hard for us to even imagine that kind of a life, that kind of a world. But that's how it was. And another evidence for that is, you look at, see, our Shastram is all in Sanskrit, Vedas are in Sanskrit, Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharatam in Sanskrit, Ramayana is in Sanskrit, Kalidasa wrote poetry in Sanskrit. So if you want to study in any of these areas, you must know Sanskrit, especially if you want to read the original. If you say, no, I don't want to read the original, then fine. There are a lot of translations into English and all these other languages. But after some point, you might say, no, I want to read the original. I want to read Valmiki Ramayana. Then you must know Sanskrit. Then even sciences. So who wrote Leelavati? So Aryabhatta, right? Aryabhatta's work is Leelavati. So I forget now. So if you book on mathematics,
Brahmagupta.
Brahmagupta wrote Leelavati. So based on Leelavati, this was his daughter. So he named the book after his daughter and Leelavati. So you want to study Leelavati? It's a book on mathematics and written so many centuries ago. Well, if you want to read that book, you must know Sanskrit. If you want to say, if you're interested in jurisprudence and governance, and you're doing a PhD in that, and Chanakya was one of the earliest persons who wrote a book on governance and security and nation and things like that. I want to read it. Well, you can read translations of Arthashastra, or since you're a research student and you are not going to take anything less than the original, then you must know Sanskrit. So like this, Sanskrit becomes very important. And of course, even just to learn our own shlokas and our own prarthanas that we chant, they're all in Sanskrit. And that is also another reason. And Sanskrit is the mother of all Indian languages. And many people say mother of all languages in the world also. So for that reason also, I want to learn Sanskrit. So like this, there are numerous reasons for learning Sanskritam. And so I don't know what I'm going to talk. I've not come to the topic yet, and let that day come, and then so I'll have to think through and so that's the basic idea there. Importance of Sanskrit. And amazingly, other countries like Germany and all, Europe and all, they have recognized the greatness of Sanskrit, and we are still. We still have a starting problem, that problem we have. So we will start. Eventually the gadi chalegi, we will start. So
Yeah. Thank you.
Sure. All right.